and Jammu and Kashmir. Assembly polls will be held in 3 phases in Jammu and Kashmir for the first time in 10 years. And after the abrogation of Article 370, ahead of the polls, terror attacks is on the rise of the Union territory. In Baramullah, 2 terrorists have been neutralized in an ongoing gunfight at Chak Tapper area of Kreeri. Operations are in progress and heavy firing have been reported from both sides. This gunfight in Baramullah comes a day after 2 Indian Army soldiers were martyred in a gun battle in Kishtwar. 2 soldiers, including a junior commissioned officer, were martyred and 2 injured in the encounter with terrorists. The gun battle broke out when a joint patrol party of the Army and Jammu and Kashmir police, based on the intelligence input, launched a cordon and search operation in the Naidgam area in the Chhatru belt connecting Kishtwar with South Kashmir's Anantnag. Meanwhile, in a separate encounter in Kathua earlier this week, troops of the Rising Star Corps shot dead 2 terrorists. Not just terror attacks, Pakistan Army also violated ceasefire in the pole-bound Union territory. Pakistani troops resorted to unprovoked firing on Indian posts in violation of a ceasefire agreement along the border. The BSF troops also retaliated. So this is the latest that is coming in from Jammu and Kashmir. We have my colleague Ajay Jandal with us. Ajay, so Jammu and Kashmir, ahead of the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly polls, there have been 3 incidents that have taken place in Jammu and Kashmir. There's the incident of Kathua, there's Baramullah and Kishtwar, and security has been heightened ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit as well. What is the situation on the ground in Jammu and Kashmir?
Situation is definitely challenging for the forces over here in the Jammu and Kashmir, as the Jammu and Kashmir has to go for the polls in next few days, and on 18th of this month, these elections are taking place, and when after a long time, people, those who were eagerly waiting for this election, they also want to cast their vote, and this doesn't suit to Pakistan, and that's why we have seen that in last few days, back-to-back terror incidents are taking place. Pakistan is violating ceasefire on the international border. Pakistan tried to push in the terrorists from the Kupara and the Nishara sector area where 2 terrorists were killed. We have seen that what has happened in the Udhampur terrorist encounter took place in which 2 terrorists were neutralized by the security forces, and another encounter there in the Kishtwar is Chhatru area. 2 Indian Army Jawans, they basically those who were deployed over there, they attained martyrdom while fighting with the terrorists, and third operation still going on over there in the Baramullah district, where terrorists, those who were basically hiding in a forest area, after their information came to the security forces, they rushed to the spot and the area was cordoned off last late night, and the operation is still continuing. Heavy exchange of fire is going on over there in the Baramullah as well, and security forces, they are ensuring that all the terrorists hiding in the forest area, they has to be neutralized. If you see that in last couple of months, what has happened at Pakistan, when they basically they felt that after the parliament election, the way people have voted for the this election process, this democratic process, that doesn't suit to Pakistan, because Pakistan was trying to create a narrative as far as the Jammu and Kashmir and India is concerned. They were continuously saying that what is happening in the Kashmir, things are not peacefully, people are protesting. But in last 10 years, that narrative has changed, and what world is seeing that things are normal in the Kashmir Valley. People in large number, they are going as a tourist, and they are visiting and enjoying the beauty of the Kashmir. G20 has happened over here, poll process has happened over here. More than 2 crores, tourists, they visited Jammu and Kashmir. So that doesn't suit to Pakistan. So, this picture when, went to the world and people started coming to the Jammu and Kashmir, Pakistan once again has started creating trouble for the civilians and the forces, and that's why they started pushing over here the terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir. And in last several months, what has happened, that more than 70-80 terrorists, they have infiltrated to the Jammu and Kashmir, and especially they have been tasked to create trouble for the forces and the civilians. They have been told to carry out attacks on the civilians and the security forces, so that once again Kashmir can be disturbed. And for that purpose, Pakistan has deputed their specialized forces as well. Where this came in the recent past, that the specialized forces commandos, they were also engaged to give training to the terrorists, those who are coming to the Jammu and Kashmir. So this has happened in the recent past, but our forces, they are also fully equipped and geared up to thwart all the nefarious plan of Pakistan. And that's why we have seen that how wherever these terrorists are hiding, security forces are going ahead and trying to neutralize them. So this is what exactly happening in the Jammu and Kashmir, and the security forces and the government of India is ensuring that all the nefarious plan of Pakistan has to be thwarted, and they have to ensure that this poll process will go smooth. And the security forces, that's why enough number of security forces have been deployed over here in the Jammu and Kashmir for the same.
Okay, thank you so much, Ajay. We are being joined by Major General A.K. Sivaj, who is a defense expert. Sir, Major General A.K. Sivaj, now as we are seeing the development that is coming in Jammu and Kashmir, three incidents have taken place. First was in Kathua, and another incident took place in Baramullah, and a recent development yesterday was in Kishtwar. And Pakistan has also violated earlier, violated the LOC, they violated the ceasefire violation. So before there was infiltration, now there was ceasefire. What do you think? Is there a nefarious ploy or an ulterior motive at play?
Rightly said, there's no doubt. As far as Pakistan is concerned, they want to show to the world that the terrorism is still prevalent in Jammu and Kashmir. If you see this Lok Sabha election, the voting pattern was almost about 55 to 60%, and there's a total peace and harmony especially in the Kashmir Valley. The tourism is at the record time, more than about 2 crore. District Development Council and Panchayat election have been also successfully done. So this is not to the liking of Pakistan. Pakistan is still trying to show to the world that terrorism exists, and that too indigenous. So what they have done is that they are now targeting the area south of Pir Panjal. Now this area is basically hilly as well as forested, and this area, since it was peaceful for last about 15-20 years, the troops were also moved from here to the eastern Ladakh. So making use of that, the Pakistan has managed to induct about 60 to 70 terrorists in last about a year and a half, and they are the one which are trying now to create some sort of problem in south of Kashmir. But remember, our security forces grid has been now established in south of Kashmir. Now the Rashtriya Rifle counter-terrorism grid is very, very strong and robust. They are now targeting all these terrorists which are inside, whether it is Doda, Kishtwar, or in Rajouri, Punch, or it is in Toni, Rasi and Kathua region. So slowly and steadily you will find it that this combing operation are taking place, and all these terrorists will be neutralized in another about 6 months. But remember that 2-3 things stand out. One is these terrorists which are now being inducted, they are equipped with the most modern weapon which Americans have left in Afghanistan, M4 carbine. The second thing is they are battle hardened and they are trained in Afghanistan, and these terrorists are following a different tactic. This is a guerrilla tactics of hit and run. They are not trying to establish a long contact with the security forces. They just hit and run. And that is the strategy they are trying to adopt south of Pir Panjal. But I can assure the countryman, the way the defense forces are now deployed and where the counter-terrorism grade is again very robust and functional, these terrorists will be eliminated. And also our counter-infiltration grade, not only on the LC but also on IB, has been beefed up so that the terrorists not able to infiltrate in time to come. Now remember, Pakistan and India has a ceasefire agreement of 2021, which is not to our liking. In fact, this is being misused by Pakistan because Pakistan is trying to send terrorists, whereas India earlier used to do wherever the post was helping in infiltrating the terrorists, we used to eliminate that post of Pakistan. But surely this need to be done. Now you find ceasefire violation is also taking. But overall, I can only say with certainty, the modus operandi of Pakistan is try to create a situation wherein they can show to the world, especially south of Pir Panjal, where they think there are about 60-70 terrorists, that the situation is still not peaceful and normal. But they'll not succeed. And especially north of Pir Panjal, that is in Kashmir Valley, if you see it, is totally quiet. Of course, there have been incidents taken place in Baramullah, Machal sector and Karen sector. But these are a usual incident of infiltration which try to take place, on our security forces neutralizing it. I having commanded a brigade in Machal sector in Kupana. So one is aware of that. But overall, I suppose the situation is totally under control of our security forces. We are now trying to target them, especially in south of Pir Panjal. Though it is not easy, it is a challenge because the terrain is difficult. And one thing which stands out there are natural caves which give them a protection. One. Second thing is also place to hide. There are overground worker and sleeper cell also working. The security forces are also going after them. All the technical parameter, in fact, the technology made use of it. The drones are being now used. Also, the RPVs are also being used to detect them. But remember, since the vegetation is very high, also there are caves. At times, the technology also fails. But overall, one can say with certainty that Pakistan is trying its best to create a situation before this election, in the assembly election of 25 September and 1st October, that the militancy still exists and the terrorism still exists in Jammu and Kashmir. I don't think that will succeed because things are totally under control, and especially south of Pir Panjal, in last about 5 to 6 months, the Indian Army has beefed up the counter-terrorism grade as well as the counter-infiltration grade on the line of control as well as the international border, and all those sleeper cell and overground workers which were trying to help them out, they have been also been targeted now. So I can say with certainty this election will be very peaceful, and the voting, which was about 58 to 60% in Lok Sabha, will be more than that in assembly election, because people want to excite their franchise, and this election are taking place after 10 years. There is a lot of, you can say, a josh in the people. People are very keen to excite their franchise. I suppose the voting will be very high, and the election will be conducted very peaceful, and the security forces are very well geared up. And today in the rally which is there of Prime Minister, which is at Doda, which is taking place after 42 years, will be very peaceful, and then he's going to Kishtwar, and thereafter he'll go to Haryana. So I can say with certainty, Dia, notwithstanding that Pakistan is trying its best to create a situation wherein they can show to the world. But things are absolutely peaceful, and security forces are one up, and they will ensure the terrorists are eliminated in time to come.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.